Welcome to Ravaged review. Also, that guy's dead.
Review the second.
He's so dead. Yeah, revieweth the second. Now, this is because the Ravaged guys, after watching our last video, went, hey, you guys were kind of like spot on with some of the crap that you were yelling about, and also you sucked at using any of our vehicles. So how about you come back and like check out all the new stuff that we've added and changed? And it was like, yeah, why not? So we did.
And it was good.
It was.
Yeah,
we did, and it was good.
First time round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vehicles felt a lot better.
Due to oddness in schedules, this is actually being done after the interview, but this is going out before the interview, so you've got an interview to look forward to. Woohoo! Also, yeah, there's you somewhere. So, you guys played for a good while yesterday. Let's go around first and just kind of sum up how you felt it was compared to the last time we played it. So we'll start with you, Serge, because you're the most interesting person. You hated it last time.
I didn't hate it. There was just a lot of mechanics that I didn't enjoy. And that guy took a tennis ball grenade straight to the face. That's one thing I enjoyed.
He threw it. I caught it.
Yeah, killed me and all in the same floor. I remember that.
Nice.
Yeah, overall, they've done a lot to polish the game up. Everything feels a lot more solid. Like the gun mechanic, the gunplay, the vehicles especially feel a lot better. They feel much less light, very down to earth now. Trying to do a jump in one of those things is really quite difficult. Everything just feels better, more satisfying.
Yeah, it really feels that they've tried to tighten everything up, in my opinion.
They've done a good job of it.
Yeah.
Other people's thoughts? Fluke?
Kel? Well, no. We'll come to Fluke last. Because, Kel, you weren't in the last video, I don't think, because you had to rush off.
Yeah.
We tried to do it when you were around, and then unfortunately you had to go to work.
Yeah, unfortunately I couldn't quite put that off.
Wow, dead.
Yeah. I don't know, this time around it's definitely a lot more fun. You can see they've really taken all the feedback they've been getting through, well, the small amount we gave them that they took on board, and through like just player feedback in general, and taken it to heart and worked with it, because things are a lot better and there is no fall damage.
Well, I was just thinking that.
If you land on the top of the post, which I think I end up doing the next time, you don't take any fall damage. I took fall damage there. If you hit the post, you don't take any, which is what I was trying to do.
I took fall damage from falling from the very top spawn of the map onto the ground, funnily enough.
Right.
That nearly killed me.
Yeah, so as you were saying, Cal.
I'm not sure whether I'd, like, specifically the fall damage thing, I don't know if I'd complain about it or not, because on maps like this, it is awesome to just jump off the side and kill someone.
Yeah, I'm happy either way, whether full damage gets put into more realistic, because it would make a map like this a lot harder to get around.
Yeah.
But also, I can understand why they would do that. But at the same time, I love the fact that the full damage is what it is. I think it needs tweaking a little, because there are some liberties that you can take with it. But for the most part, I like the fact that I can just kind of throw myself off the side and get down there quick to help defend the point. I'm going to take damage, I'm going to lose some health, but here the fun begins.
Yeah.
M79.
I was like, everyone else is raving about the grenade launcher. Let's try it out.
We do have to say, from all the time we played, we did notice that the grenade launcher seems to be slightly overpowered at current. It can one-shot most
so
people.
Did they. Credit to the two Dawn guys. The two Dawn guys, instantly after we were done, we were like, the grenade launcher, and they were like, yeah. So
I do quite like the feel of vehicles now, though. There's a lot more weight to them, but they still feel nice and quick when you're zipping around the map on an ATV or in a buggy or something like that. There is a good amount of speed, but it's not a case of it's not a case of you can't control it, because it's just kind of floating along the ground.
In regards to control, the helicopter, still ridiculously hard to use.
I love the helicopter. The helicopter is fantastic now. Unfortunately, I think stingers are a little bit of a pain in the nutsack.
Sure Fluke will comment on the stingers.
I tried at one point, we were playing the other night, to get into a helicopter, and it took me like 4 or 5 attempts to last more than 3 seconds, because as soon as it took off, it was like, stinger, bang, dead.
Yeah, and then you ended up doing quite possibly one of the dumbest things I think I've seen you do in gaming history with you, which is in a post-apocalyptic world where everyone is fighting for survival, you randomly all of a sudden in chat turned around and I was like, I say, gents, would you mind not shooting down my gyrocopter? I'm trying to fly here.
What did you do there?
I tried to get it through the hole. But unfortunately, apparently that's not actually a hole. But there's no explosion.
I was going to say, you just kind of... There wasn't even an explosion, you just died.
There's no explosion, so I just kind of went, boom, and disappeared. But yeah, you were like, I say, this is unsportsmanlike conduct. This is very ungentlemanly of you.
It was something along the lines of, you mind not shooting it down, like the second I get in it.
In this honourable jewel of ours, would you mind not filling my helicopter with bullets? I would be much
Bullets I don't mind. Bullets I don't mind, because that's got to take some doing, actually. Because you can't just, one-shot it. But the Stinger, I couldn't even figure out how to do it. It seemed, can you lock it on or something?
The Stinger?
Yeah, can you get it
I don't know. Which one of you guys was testing that? Because one of you was like, oh, it locks onto vehicles now.
I was trying to work it out, but I couldn't get it working. Whether it might auto-lock onto air units, but there was nothing on ground, and everything that could fly was being shot down before it took off.
Serge, was it you then that successfully got the Stinger, locking onto crap?
I didn't ever use the Stinger. I was too busy getting shot by snipers and the like, and getting mowed down by quads.
I think the only thing I used the Stinger for was launching you off of a cliff, Dave.
Yeah, which was great fun
about
because...
the vehicles, the collision detection's been massively increased, because I remember last time around it was nigh impossible to actually run anybody over.
In this you have Jeeps bouncing off of
I
that
have to
ATV.
say, credit to them for the vehicle detection now, because even, and this is one of the things I absolutely hated about the game, Bad Company 2 had that problem. If you remember when we used to play it in community nights and game nights and random stuff,
guy and push him along for 30 feet on the front of me quad.
Or you'd hit them with the center of the bike and go straight through them because the detection was on the wheels.
Yeah.
Which was a massive pain. So it's really nice to see that these guys actually can do vehicles right. And they're really taking an interest in them, and the tank that unfortunately we don't have any footage of was great fun and is very heavy. I tried jumping in the tank and it just kind of went boom and fell down a hole.
Like, what is
3
this,
inches
a ramp?
in the air and then fell down the hole.
Yeah, it was like I got I blew up two of the devs in a Jeep, and it was like the first thing I did when I was on the map. Got in the tank and I was like, oh baby, tank, because I love big guns like that. I always like playing. Well, I like playing, tanks in games. I like being the tank. So actually getting in the tank, it's like, yeah. And I blew up the Jeep and I felt like a man. And I was like, hey, look, there's a little jump here. I'm going to basically just Thelma and Louise it. And, I think Kel was in the tank with me, grabbed Kel's hand, and we just tried to make this jump. And the tank just kind of went over and then did like the Wile E. Coyote thing.
Kind of thing. Stopping me
and
there.
kind of like, the turret just kind of turns around and just like, uh-oh. And then just like falls straight down this hole. Like got the tank stuck.
A little puff of smoke and everything.
So it made the two Don guys laugh, so mission accomplished, really.
But this is one of the maps that we didn't see in the rotation before. Now, they actually, if you remember the jungle map that we were playing on for the last video, I think it was. I can't remember which footage we put out. I think it was that one. And it was a case of the jungle footage, we kept getting bugged in one of the houses. They pulled that from the rotation. Because they were like, no, we want to fix that map. It's not up to scratch because of... Hey, look, hands!
Hands on the screen.
But they were like, oh, we want to fix the map. It's not up to what we want. But this map, this was the first time we were seeing the oil rig. And it was... I loved this map. This map was fantastic.
It's a really good map. I enjoyed playing on it.
It's very chaotic, isn't it?
Yeah, there's so a lot of very good vantage points.
Yeah, so much... I kept getting shot from God knows where.
The areas around the rig were quite quiet, but when you actually got to the rig, it was mayhem.
It's quite interesting to, I suck and like somehow managed to not kill all of them here.
I've noticed like it can take 2 hits to kill them with a grenade launcher. Only if you get a scored direct hit is it a 1-shot.
I'm hoping there's the footage of the Stinger. I'm not sure if that's still to come. Or if it already came and I missed it, but I use a Stinger to bounce someone around. I think it's here. Could this be it? Is this it? Like I think that was the first time of using the Stinger, and I realized that like the Stinger doesn't do much damage. However, it does bounce people around. and I have some fantastic fun with it.
Like an AoE harpoon.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
the weapons.
Trip the floor.
Yeah. Boonk. So the weapons feel tighter. The vehicles feel better. The maps feel.
There's more weapons available as well. They've
Yeah.
added a few more, which is one of the complaints we had last time, where every class had one, maybe two weapons if you were lucky. So
Haha!
And they just
Nice
tried
to
to
see
make
those
clones of what the other side had, basically. So there's a bit more variance now.
Yeah. And of course, we don't want to touch on any of the stuff we discussed in the interview because,
Yeah.
well, watch the interview. They do mention some fantastic stuff. But it's the new weapons and all that kind of stuff feels really interesting. I'm very curious to see where weapons go. I'm very curious to see how they do it because they obviously do care about balance. You know, they were using these grenade launchers and stuff, and they were messing around with them. But afterwards, they were like, "Yeah, this is overpowered." So it'll be very interesting to see where this goes. But my big concern is the longevity of the game. It feels like they're really trying to make the game better, and they're really trying to focus on creating a enjoyable shooter. Not necessarily a realistic shooter, just a very enjoyable skill-based shooter.
Yeah,
and so it's
fun to play.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if it lasts.
I hope it does,
Personally-
because it's definitely a developer that obviously cares about.
Here you go.
Oh God.
So go on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I
Yeah,
really hope so.
They do care about like making as good a game as they can, and everything they've said in the interview does point towards that. So I have a lot of faith in it.
It's a
and-
labour of love for the guys. I really think that it's...
Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it doesn't. It's not really in their hands. They can create the best game ever, and it's really up to.
it's just up to the people who play it.
yeah, whether
Yeah.
people
Whether
play
it
it, whether it
sinks or
gets...
swims.
Yeah, that's it.
But I'm curious. So Zan, let's just go around and
Right in the
God,
backside.
Buzz again. Let's go around. Zan, give me some of the things that you liked this time around, some of the things you didn't like this time around, and we'll go around and we'll pros and cons.
Well,
this
I
time.
think from last time, everything is an improvement. They really have just taken everything on board and worked with it, and it's improved in every way that annoyed me last time. It just is getting better, and like was discussed in the interview, don't want to touch it too much because, like I said, watch the interview. But it is a better, and it is changing. They're listening to the player feedback, which is brilliant. I've got a lot of high hopes for it. I'm really a lot more interested than I was before, seeing how much of an improvement has been made. I'm really impressed.
So, Cal?
I would basically echo everything that Fluke's just said. I mean, these guys, they care about making the best game they can. And everything I've seen so far, it looks like it's going to be a fantastic game when it does release. I'm just really hoping that you can load up the game and there are full games to jump into. Because unless people actually play it, it's dead in the water.
Yeah.
Search?
More or less the same, really. I'm hoping we can actually make this at one point our game of the week if it
definitely
continues to improve the way it has been over the course of time. Right in the
Power
face.
and a kisser.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. They can improve it even more and just, keep this kind of development speed, pace, mapping, development, all that, just everything and anything really. Then, they're up to create a really stellar FPS. Right up there with games like Blacklight and Call of Duty even.
Yeah, I would say that they're moving the right way. I can see some players that are going to have issues with like graphics and the seriousness of the game or the unseriousness of the game, depending on which players take a look at it. Overall, I say that they're moving in the right direction. I love the changes that they've made. I love the fact that they're willing to recognize when a weapon is fun but is overpowered. And I'm very curious to see what they do after launch. I mean, they've improved on everything that we had problems with. The vehicles are all fantastic. Everything is great. Look at that. Us second, third, fourth, and then Fluke all the way down there in ninth.
Yeah.
I'm just really hoping that players will actually grab hold of this. And, the guys at Two Dawn, they deserve support because they really do seem to care about their game and they do really want it to work. I can't really think of anything negative to say this time around. I mean, they're moving in the right direction. There's still, some minor things, but nothing serious.
Yeah, still work to do, but keep going, lads. Nice work.
So, if you have any questions, queries, or comments, Serge, leave them
above below.
There you go. And we've hit the next map. I was about to say black screen, but no, next map. And from myself, Xander, Kel, and Serge over in the corner, we will catch you for the next video. Peace.
In a while.
Stay awesome.
Good night.